Hello everyone. It's often said that time is our most valuable resource. Once it's gone, we can't get it back. And yet every single one of us is given the same 24 hours in a day. The difference lies in how we choose to use that time. Today I want to talk to you about how to make the most of your 24 hours, how to manage it effectively, and how you can truly take control of your life by being intentional with every minute. Time is the one thing we cannot buy, borrow, or reclaim. It is a finite resource, and no matter how successful, powerful, or wealthy a person may become, they still only have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. When you fully grasp the value of time, you begin to treat it differently. Every moment becomes more meaningful, and you realize that how you choose to spend those precious hours has a direct impact on your life's outcome. The first step in using your time wisely is to truly understand its worth and respect it by allocating it consciously and intentionally. To make the most of your day, it's crucial to start with clear priorities. Without knowing what truly matters to you, it's easy to drift from one activity to the next, wasting time on tasks that do not align with your long-term goals. Whether it's your career, relationships, or personal growth, take the time to identify what is most important to you. Once you know what your priorities are, it becomes much easier to make decisions about how to spend your time. By aligning your daily actions with your bigger objectives, you can ensure that each day brings you closer to achieving them. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, and they can easily steal away valuable hours without you even realizing it. Whether it's scrolling through social media, attending unnecessary meetings, or binge-watching TV, these time traps can quickly add up. Being aware of these distractions is the first step in overcoming them. You must learn to guard your time by setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and focusing only on activities that move you forward. The more you practice self-discipline, the more productive you become, and the more you can achieve within the limited time you have. Finally, using your 24 hours wisely requires constant reflection and adjustment. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and lose sight of whether you're actually moving in the right direction. At the end of each week, take a moment to evaluate how you spent your time. Did your activities align with your priorities? Did you make progress toward your goals? If not, consider what changes you can make to improve. Small adjustments over time can make a huge difference. Remember, how you spend your time today shapes your future, so make every minute count. In order to use your time effectively, it's essential to have clarity on what truly matters most to you. Many people spend their days rushing from one task to the next without ever stopping to consider whether those tasks are actually contributing to their bigger goals. Without a clear sense of purpose or direction, it's easy to get lost in a sea of distractions and activities that don't lead anywhere meaningful. This is why taking the time to reflect on your values and long-term aspirations is crucial. Whether it's your health, family, career, or personal development, identifying what matters most provides the foundation for making intentional choices with your time. Once you've clarified what's most important, it becomes easier to align your daily actions with your long-term goals. Too often, we allow external pressures or fleeting interest to dictate how we spend our time. But when you are crystal clear about your priorities, it helps you filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. For example, if your health is a priority, you'll make time for exercise and good nutrition, even when other distractions compete for your attention. Similarly, if nurturing relationships with family and friends is a top priority, you'll make time for meaningful connections rather than getting caught up in activities that don't serve those relationships. It's not enough to simply identify your priorities, though. You must actively focus your energy on them each day. This means dedicating specific blocks of time to the things that align with your goals and being mindful of how you spend every moment. It may require making tough decisions about where to direct your attention and, at times, saying no to opportunities that don't fit with your vision for the future. It's about being deliberate and consistent in how you allocate your time. The more you can align your actions with your priorities, the more fulfilled and successful you will feel, as you will be making progress in the areas that truly matter. Ultimately, clarity and focus are the keys to using your time wisely. When you know what matters most and consistently align your actions with your values and goals, every day becomes an opportunity to move forward. You'll find that not only does your productivity increase, but your sense of purpose and satisfaction will also grow. The time you invest in what truly matters will yield far greater rewards than simply filling your day with tasks that aren't in line with your larger vision. By consistently making time for what's important, you'll start to see how every hour spent with intention brings you closer to the life you want to create. Successful individuals understand that time is a limited resource, and therefore, they don't approach each day by merely reacting to whatever comes their way. Instead, they take control by planning ahead. They know that without a clear plan, their time can quickly slip away, leaving them feeling scattered and unproductive. Taking just 10 to 15 minutes each evening to organize and prepare for the following day is a powerful habit. During this time, they reflect on their most important tasks and map out how to tackle them in the most effective way. This small yet significant investment in time ensures that when they wake up the next morning, they already have a sense of direction and purpose. The key to making this planning effective lies in prioritization. Successful people don't attempt to do everything on their to-do list. They identify their most important tasks, the activities that will have the most significant impact on their goals, and move them forward in meaningful ways. These tasks become the focal point of their day, and they make sure to dedicate time for them early in the morning when their energy is at its peak. By tackling their most critical work first, they avoid the trap of procrastination or getting caught up in less important, time-consuming tasks that don't drive them closer to their objectives. Once their most important tasks are identified, the next step is to ensure that they have the resources and time needed to execute them effectively. Successful people recognize that planning is not just about knowing what needs to be done, but also about setting the right conditions for success. This could mean organizing their workspace, gathering necessary materials in advance, or setting specific time blocks throughout the day to focus solely on their MITs. The more proactive they are in preparing for the next day, the smoother and more productive their day becomes. Preparation creates a sense of control, allowing them to avoid unnecessary distractions and remain focused on what matters most. In the end, planning ahead becomes a cornerstone of personal and professional success. By setting aside a few minutes each evening to prioritize tasks, individuals can enter the next day with a clear and actionable roadmap. This habit helps to minimize stress, as there's no longer the need to make last-minute decisions or waste time figuring out what to do next. Instead, they approach their day with a strong sense of purpose and direction, which enables them to stay focused, be more productive, and ultimately accomplish far more. The simple act of planning ahead doesn't just save time. It maximizes the potential of each day, ensuring that every moment is spent with intention and clarity. We all have experienced the trap of activities that seem harmless at first, but end up consuming more time than we realize. These are the time traps: social media scrolling, endless meetings that don't contribute to your goals, or binge-watching shows that provide no real value. These activities can be alluring because they offer immediate gratification or a sense of escape, but when examined closely, they add little to our long-term success or happiness. It's easy to get caught up in them because they're often so readily available and easily accessible. But if you step back and look at how much time you actually spend on them, you may realize that they're not a good investment of your hours. Recognizing these time traps is the first step in taking control of your day. Once you become aware of how often these distractions occur, you can begin to make conscious decisions about when and how you engage with them. The key is to set clear boundaries and limit the amount of time spent on non-essential activities. For instance, you can schedule specific times during the day when you allow yourself to check social media or watch TV. But outside of those times, you hold yourself accountable to focus on more productive tasks. Setting boundaries like this helps you regain control and ensures that your precious time is being spent on things that truly matter. Another strategy for overcoming time traps is to eliminate them altogether or replace them with more meaningful activities. If you find that certain habits, like checking your phone first thing in the morning or spending hours in unnecessary meetings, are becoming a regular part of your routine, it may be time to make some changes. Instead of reaching for your phone, you might start your day with a morning ritual that centers you, like reading, exercising, or planning your day. Similarly, if meetings are consistently wasting your time, consider setting more efficient structures, like having clear agendas, limiting meeting times, or opting for emails or brief check-ins instead. By actively eliminating or transforming these distractions, you make room for more valuable tasks. Ultimately, The goal is to be intentional with how you spend your time. The more you recognize and eliminate these time traps, the more you free yourself up to focus on things that will have a lasting impact on your life. Time is one of the few resources that, once lost, can never be regained. And by taking control of where you direct your attention, you ensure that your 24 hours are being used in the most effective way possible. By minimizing distractions and creating boundaries, you not only improve your productivity, but also give yourself the opportunity to engage in activities that genuinely contribute to your goals and personal growth. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are a constant presence, and they can easily undermine our productivity if we're not careful. From constant notifications on our phones to the allure of social media or interruptions from colleagues, it often feels like there is always something competing for our attention. These distractions can fragment our focus, making it difficult to stay on task and complete work efficiently. As a result, tasks take longer to finish, and the quality of the work may suffer as our attention shifts back and forth between different activities. The more distractions we allow into our day, the more scattered and less effective we become. One of the most effective ways to combat these distractions and enhance productivity is through the practice of time blocking. This technique involves dedicating specific uninterrupted blocks of time to particular tasks, allowing you to concentrate solely on one activity at a time. For example, you might block off 2 hours in the morning to work on an important project with no phone calls, emails, or meetings scheduled during that time. By creating these boundaries, you ensure that your focus remains fixed on the task at hand, and you are less likely to fall prey to the constant interruptions that so often derail our productivity. Time blocking not only helps you get more done, but it also allows you to produce higher quality work. When you work in a focused, uninterrupted state, you're able to give your full attention to the task, leading to better decision-making and more thoughtful results. In contrast, when you try to juggle multiple tasks at once or work in a distracted environment, your brain is forced to switch gears repeatedly, which leads to mistakes, lower quality, and wasted time. Time blocking removes that mental friction and gives you the space to work deeply, leading to outcomes that reflect your true capabilities. Moreover, by structuring your day with time blocks, you can also avoid the feeling of being overwhelmed by a never-ending to-do list. When you set aside specific periods for focused work, you naturally create a sense of progress, and you can see that you're moving closer to completing your goals. This structure provides clarity and eliminates the stress of uncertainty about how to spend your time. Over time, the habit of time blocking can transform your approach to work, helping you be not only more productive, but also more intentional with how you use your time each day. In the pursuit of productivity, many people fall into the trap of working nonstop, believing that the more hours they put in, the more they will accomplish. However, this approach often leads to burnout, diminishing the quality of work and draining physical and mental energy. Our brains and bodies are not designed to function continuously without rest. Over time, the constant pressure to perform without taking breaks can result in fatigue, lack of focus, and a decline in overall performance. To avoid this, it's essential to recognize that regular breaks are a crucial part of a productive workday, not a luxury or an indulgence. Taking scheduled breaks throughout your day serves to refresh and recharge both your mind and body. Even short 5 to 10-minute breaks can make a significant difference. Whether it's stepping away from your desk to take a walk, stretching to relieve tension, or practicing a few minutes of mindfulness, these activities allow you to reset. By giving yourself these moments of pause, you provide your brain with the rest it needs to process information, reduce stress, and regain focus. The simple act of stepping away from your task can also spark new ideas, improving creativity and problem solving when you return to your work. When you prioritize breaks, you are not only improving your mental clarity, but also your physical health. Sitting for long hours without movement can lead to discomfort, muscle strain, and a decrease in circulation, which can negatively impact your overall well-being. Regular breaks that involve physical activity, such as a quick walk or a stretch, help alleviate these issues, reduce the risk of physical ailments, and increase your energy levels. These short bursts of movement act as a natural energizer, helping to combat the physical fatigue that often sets in after long periods of sitting or intense focus. Ultimately, integrating regular breaks into your workday isn't just about maintaining well-being, it's about boosting productivity. When you give yourself time to rest, you are able to return to your tasks with renewed focus and energy, ready to tackle the next challenge. Working nonstop may seem like a way to get more done, but in reality, it only leads to diminishing returns. By incorporating strategic breaks, you ensure that you stay sharp, avoid burnout, and sustain your productivity over the long haul. One of the hardest but most important skills in time management is learning how to say no. Many of us find it difficult to turn down requests, whether it's from colleagues, friends, or family. There's often a sense of guilt or obligation that comes with saying no, as if we are letting others down. However, saying yes to everything that comes your way can ultimately spread you too thin, leaving you with little time or energy for the things that truly matter. By saying yes to too many things, you are inadvertently saying no to your own goals, your own priorities, and your own future. Every time you agree to something that doesn't align with your objectives, you're sacrificing time that could be spent working toward what you truly want to achieve. Learning to say no is about being selective with your commitments. It's important to recognize that your time is finite, and every decision you make about how to spend it shapes the direction of your life. If you're constantly saying yes to others, you may find yourself overwhelmed with tasks that aren't in line with your core values or aspirations. It's crucial to evaluate each opportunity that comes your way and ask yourself whether it brings you closer to your long-term goals. If the answer is no, then it's okay to say no as well. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about protecting your time and ensuring that you're focused on the things that matter most. Over time, the more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes. You'll start to develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and clarity about your priorities. As you make more intentional decisions about how to spend your time, you'll realize that your capacity to work on meaningful projects increases. Saying no allows you to focus on fewer, more important tasks, which means you can pour more energy and attention into them. This focused effort leads to greater accomplishments and a deeper sense of fulfillment, as you are not wasting time on commitments that don't serve your larger purpose. In essence, learning to say no is an act of self-discipline and self-respect. It requires courage to set boundaries and protect your time, especially in a world that often demands more from us than we can give. But by saying no to distractions and obligations that do not align with your goals, you are saying yes to a life of purpose, clarity, and intentional progress. You are creating space for the things that truly matter. And in doing so, you are ensuring that your time is spent on what will bring you closer to the future you envision. Throughout the day, we all encounter small pockets of idle time. These moments often seem inconsequential. A few minutes waiting for a meeting to begin, a brief pause between tasks, or the time spent in transit. It's easy to let these moments slip away without thinking much about them, often filling them with distractions like checking social media or mindlessly scrolling through our phones. However, these idle periods don't have to be wasted. Instead of letting them pass by unnoticed, we can transform them into valuable opportunities for personal growth and development. For example, during your commute or while waiting in line, you have the perfect chance to engage in activities that nurture your mind. Listening to an educational podcast, an audiobook, or a TED Talk can provide you with new insights and knowledge that contribute to your personal or professional development. These moments, though small, accumulate over time and can have a significant impact on your overall growth. If you're someone who has always wanted to learn a new skill or deepen your understanding of a particular subject, these pockets of time offer a chance to make steady progress. Alternatively, you could use these moments for reflection and goal setting. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and forget to pause and think about where you are heading. A few quiet minutes of contemplation can be incredibly valuable. Reflect on your goals, revisit your priorities, and assess whether your current actions align with the future you envision. By using these brief moments to check in with yourself, you can ensure that your daily efforts are in line with your long-term aspirations. Preventing you from drifting intervals of time can actually be powerful if used purposefully. Instead of filling every free moment with distractions, consider how you can make the most of your idle time. Whether through learning, reflecting, or planning, you are choosing to invest in your growth. By consciously using even the smallest fragments of time, you can create a cumulative effect that accelerates your progress toward achieving your goals and becoming the person you want to be. Each minute is an opportunity. How you choose to use it can make all the difference. It might seem counterintuitive to suggest that rest is an essential component of productivity, But the truth is, without proper sleep, all the time we try to work or focus becomes less effective. Sleep is not a luxury or something to be sacrificed when we're busy. It's a necessary function that allows our bodies and minds to recharge. When we sleep, our brains process and consolidate information, making it easier to recall facts, solve problems, and think creatively the next day. Without sufficient rest, our cognitive abilities are impaired and our decision-making skills suffer. As a result, we may find ourselves working harder but achieving less, constantly pushing through exhaustion without realizing that the lack of sleep is hindering our performance. In addition to cognitive function, sleep plays a vital role in maintaining physical health. During deep sleep, the body repairs itself, rejuvenates cells, and strengthens the immune system. Without enough rest, the body becomes more susceptible to illness, and the risk of chronic health problems increases. When we deprive ourselves of sleep, it's not just our focus and mental clarity that suffer, it's also our overall well-being. In the long run, poor sleep habits can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and an increased risk of cardiovascular issues. Prioritizing sleep is not just about feeling rested. It's about investing in your long-term health and well-being. Moreover, when we are well rested, we have more energy to tackle tasks, make better decisions, and approach challenges with a positive mindset. Sleep improves mood regulation, reducing irritability and stress. When we are sleep deprived, it's easy to become overwhelmed or frustrated, making it harder to stay focused and productive. With adequate rest, we are better equipped to handle the demands of the day and stay resilient in the face of setback. This emotional balance also enhances our relationships with others, as we are more patient and present, which in turn supports our overall success in both personal and professional life. Ultimately, sleep is a powerful tool that supports every aspect of our performance. Rather than viewing it as something that takes away from our productivity, we should see it as an investment in our ability to perform at our best. By making rest a priority, we can approach each day with a clearer mind, a healthier body, and a more positive outlook. When we sleep well, we are better able to manage our time, focus on our goals, and maximize our productivity. Rest doesn't just make us feel better, it enables us to make the most of our waking hours. One of the most effective ways to ensure that you are using your time wisely is through continuous self-reflection and improvement. Taking the time to regularly evaluate how you spend your days allows you to see what is working and what isn't. This process helps you identify patterns, recognize distractions, and determine whether you are truly prioritizing the activities that align with your goals. Often, we get so caught up in the hustle of daily life that we don't take a step back to analyze how our actions are contributing to our long-term success. Without reflection, it's easy to waste time on tasks that may seem urgent in the moment, but ultimately don't help us move forward. By setting aside time at the end of each week to reflect on your time, you gain valuable insights into your habits and productivity. This weekly reflection doesn't have to be lengthy, but should focus on key questions. What did I accomplish? What didn't get done, and why? Was I able to prioritize the things that matter most? These simple questions can guide you toward a clearer understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, helping you make adjustments for the upcoming week. When you acknowledge where you've fallen short, you can make conscious decisions to improve and course correct before you get too far off track. This kind of regular assessment fosters a mindset of growth and adaptability. Every week presents an opportunity to learn from both your successes and failures, which ultimately leads to personal growth. By making small adjustments based on your reflections, you refine your time management strategies and improve your ability to focus on what's truly important. This approach encourages you to embrace change rather than resist it, knowing that even the smallest modifications can have a significant impact over time. Continuous improvement, however incremental, ensures that you are always moving forward and getting closer to your goals. Incorporating this habit of reflection and improvement not only makes you more effective in how you manage your time, but also boosts your confidence. As you begin to make progress and refine your methods, you gain a sense of control over your time and a clearer vision of your priorities. The more consistently you reflect and make necessary adjustments, the more you can optimize how you use each day. Over time, this process of continuous improvement transforms your approach to time management, turning it into a powerful tool that supports your success and helps you lead a more focused, intentional life. In conclusion, your 24 hours are a gift, a resource that can either pass you by or propel you toward your dream. It's entirely up to you how you use them. By setting clear priorities, eliminating distractions, focusing on meaningful work, and regularly evaluating your time, you can make the most of every single day. Remember, how you spend your time today shapes your future. Use it wisely. Thank you.